Welcome to our second monthly online meeting. I am happy that you all joined. I think we are a few less than last time, but as we are already a bit over the time, I think we can start with the meeting if nobody misses anyone. Okay, great. I recognized in our last video that we did not introduce ourselves. For the maintainers, I think it's kind of our responsibility to give a quick overview why we are actually in this project and what we are doing here. For you participants, it's optional if you want to introduce yourself or not. To give a quick example, what you could tell about yourself, I will start with this. And if you want to join me, you can introduce yourself afterwards. Okay, so hi, I'm Anna, I'm 24 years old. I joined the Intern company after I finished my bachelor degree in physics. I'm working for Intern for since 1.5 years. I started as the product manager of the OmnAI-Scope. The OmnAI-Scope is our little oscilloscope that we developed that should make car analysis easier. And this whole project kind of developed into a system that should not only visualize and analyze data of OmnAI-Scopes, but also provide a system where you can have multiple data sources that are visualized in one software and provide multiple analysis for that time series data. My personal motivation for this project is that we had in our university multiple measurement devices, and with all of that measurement devices came multiple software, or you had to write the data manually down on paper or in your PC. And for every experiment, you had to write your own analysis in Python or in another language. And there were like 60 students each semester that had to write the same analysis and had to work with different measurement devices and every time with a different software. And I thought there had to be a better solution for that. And my initial motivation was to make oscilloscopes better because I really didn't like them. And I think that we created a better and easier to use device for that. And the second motivation was that there should be a system where you can connect multiple data sources and you only have one software, and with that software you can use multiple analysis that anyone writes. And if you have a specific analysis, you also have the opportunity to connect this analysis to the software. So from only managing the OmnAI-Scope itself, I kind of developed to managing the OmnAI-Project with all its repositories and the whole system. So that's about me. Who of you wants to go next?
Yeah, hi, I'm Franz, and I don't work for Intern, but I know the owners, and I was interested in the project, so I joined.
Yeah, my name is Timo. I'm 43 years old. I'm an intern of Intern. And as part of my training, I'm supposed to realize the project. And in this context, I will be responsible for part of the GUI of the OmnAIView project. That's me. And I'm currently a training to become an IT specialist in application development.
Great, thank you. I hope this gave our viewers a quick introduction who we are. I think it would be nice to do this every time we have new contributors so that they can feel included in our group and we all know who is actually participating in the project. Our agenda for today will be that we will have a quick overview what happened in the last month, what PRs were created, what issues were created, how the current software looks like and what features we have. And then we will talk about what I think are interesting discussions and pull requests currently. And after that, we can have a quick session with feedback and questions about the project, what your opinions are, and what features you would like to implement in the next month, or what you think could improve the project. Can you see my presentation? Okay, great. An overview of the current project. As you can see from the last time, we have more text, we have more contributors, and we have more issues and pull requests, actually. If one would compare the screenshot from the last time to this time. To give you a few statistics, we currently had in the last month 25 active pull requests and 24 active issues. And we could merge 21 pull requests, close 13 issues, and we had 11 contributors, which you can all see in this picture. We have a new release, which is version 1.2.0, that has a lot of new features. Okay, what you can see here is that we have automatic polling of devices, which means that one has no longer to click on search devices. You have a play and a stop button for the measurement. You have the advanced mode and the car shot mode. Car shot mode means everything starts from beginning, and advanced mode means you can select data sources like in the video. We have improved design, and we also have relative and manual timing for the x-axis. Additionally, we implemented a dark mode, which I think is really great because when you work at night, your eyes don't get and we have the selection of CSV files from the old OmnAI software. So if anyone has worked with the old software and already has a measurement, they can now load their old data into the software. And that's it. So to come to summarize, we have a dark mode, we have a workshop mode, we have now start and stop buttons, which will hopefully be developed into a complete toolbar. We have the OmnAI polling, we have the import of CSV files from the old software, relative and actual time on the x-axis. And what you couldn't see in the video was that we also have an information button where you can see the current version of the software, which is great for debugging and later on for support calls. We have a few bug fixes regarding the loading of the page and how the software starts, and we also have improvements in the documentation and the continuous integration on GitHub and fix the last workflows. We now have 11 contributors, which are especially from the SE Lab. The SE Lab is a software engineering project from the university in Bochum, where students work via Scrum with actual companies. We are one of the companies and work like customers in this project, and the students work on the software and are are implementing new features, and optionally they can actually contribute to the main project. And I'm really happy that a lot of them are really motivated on this project and did contribute great features to OmnAIView. Our main interesting PRs, which I personally think, are hashtag 89 and hashtag 97. Hashtag 89, we had a pull request for issue templates. This should improve our workflow. In the last 2 months, we had kind of problems with duplicated pull requests that implemented something that was not really needed or was like breaking the structure of the code. To prevent this and to avoid unnecessary work or frustration from contributors, we introduced an issue template. So the workflow would be that before one creates a PR, they create an issue, and we as the maintainers and other contributors can discuss this issue and can discuss what's needed, how it could be implemented, how the final version should look like, and can assign someone who is responsible to implement the feature. Therefore, there should be no duplicated pull requests or minimize pull requests that are rejected. Hashtag 97 implements adapt polling and disconnect WebSocket. This is especially interesting because I think this will be one of the main topics in the next 2 to 3 weeks when implementing the toolbar, how to handle disconnection from the WebSocket, how to handle polling the devices, when to poll devices, when to stop data measurement, and when to actually disconnect from the WebSocket, how this could be integrated in the user workflow. And I think hashtag 97 is the starting point to the discussion. We have 3 interesting issues which are all related to each other, and that are 109, 108, and 95. They are talking about how to set up the toolbar. The toolbar is the bar where the play button, the stop button, the saving button, a delete button, a record button should be implemented. And currently it's not really clear how to implement that, what behavior is expected from which button should exist, and how the state management for this toolbar should be implemented. So 95 is the initial issue, which is split up into different little issues to actually have only one feature in one issue. And help for this discussion and interesting opinions are appreciated, and we will work on this in the next 3 to 4 weeks to hopefully have a functional toolbar in the next monthly meeting. Also interesting discussions are hashtag 104. This is a general setup for contributors. So we discussed that we had an issue template, but there should also be a continuous integration for releases, continuous integration for pull requests, how a getting started document for new contributors, how to actually contribute and how to build a project, how to connect with other contributors and stuff like that. And the general setup for contributors is a discussion which describes how to set up a full contributor workflow for new contributors and for already existing contributors. And help there is really appreciated in other opinions, because I did set up this workflow for another repository as an example, but I don't think it is complete, and I would like to have feedback on that, and I think it would improve the workflow we have for our contributors. The next step we are doing as maintainers is to set up a full workflow. This includes continuous integration releases. We had our first release last week, which was version 1.00, and currently there's also a pull request that integrates a continuous integration workflow to create a release on a pull request that implements a feature. We would like to integrate the toolbar functionality, and we would like to integrate a zoom and more graphic functions. There's a first issue for the zoom currently, which should be implemented by one of the students from the SA lab, and we will hopefully integrate more graphic features to the browser. And that's it from my point of view and from the presentation, what happens in the last month. Do you have any questions or feedback, or would like to open the discussion? Not so many opinions. Okay. Is there any input before we stop with this meeting that you would like to talk about? Are there any features you would like to implement? Is there anything open or any questions regarding the features? Anything that you think should also be integrated in the next month? Okay, great. Then it was nice that you joined the meeting. I wish you a nice day, and I think we're done for today. Thank you.